big of a name.
I think anything can happen. It's Hearthstone. We should just watch and enjoy the game, maybe.
All right.
Oh, look at that. Harrison Jones Druid versus Warrior. But at the same time, like Piloted Treader, I don't think that's that common in Warrior. What do you think about that, Ecop?
Pilot, Shredder, and Warrior suggests a kind of theme of Tempo Warrior or Mid-Range Warrior. Kind of reliant on more mid-game minions in order to get advantage on the board and just snowball from there, instead of relying on late-game finishers too much and struggling in the mid-game sometimes.
I think it doesn't seem like that bad of an add-in in even Control Warrior, though.
Yeah, it is alright. I mean, we've seen cards like that, like solid 4-drops, just being good in control decks in general as well. We've seen Warriors dabble around with different kinds of 4-drops, like Sen'jin Shieldmaster we saw at some point as well, and just stuff like that.
Sen'jin does crush Piloted Treader often.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it crushes him. This matchup is really interesting because pre-GVG, Druid was like super favored. After GVG, the Warrior has more mid-range ways to approach the matchup, and if he gets the board control, he will win. I'm not really sure if keeping Fiery Warax was the best, but with the Piloted Shredder, you can trade into the Druid of the Clone turn 5, so that might be pretty good, even though you don't get the best curve out.
Yeah, the Fiery Warax is one of the most game-winning cards in the early game against most matchups, but Druids in the very first few turns, they either ramp or ramp into something in the mid-game. It just escapes that 3 damage immediately.
It's an answer for Shredder, but it's not like the best answer, because if you Fiery Warax the Shredder, you lose your whole 4th turn.
Yeah.
And then he can play a 5-mana card, and then you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing why Druid was always favored against Warrior is because Druid just dominates the mid game, while Warrior is really good in the early game and really good in the late game. But in the mid game, this is where the game is decided, and the more mid game value the Warrior runs, like for example this Piloted Shredder, the better chance he has at actually beating the Druid.
Don't you think the combo?
Oh man, that's brutal.
Oh yeah.
Don't you think the combo matters a lot too?
Yeah, it does, but Warrior has ways of getting out of range of the combo with enough armor gain. So as long as he controls the board, the Warrior doesn't have to be afraid of any type of bursts in terms of spells.
Yeah. Now,
Keeper is very strong here.
I am actually surprised, like, we kind of got off topic on the Fire Warax a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen Thijs play a non-combo Druid in a tournament. I don't think it's ever happened before. So knowing that, like, do you think it's actually right to keep Fiery Warax? Because there are some Druids that play some early game cards. There's like Mech Druid, there's Fast Druid. I mean, we haven't seen in the tournament yet, but they exist on ladder, and with the Conquest format, ladder decks does seem to work a little bit.
At what rank do you see that creep?
Well, every Druid runs Piloted Shredder, so that's already some value for the Fire Warax. It'll always like trade at least 1-for-1 with the Piloted Shredder.
Not quite always.
Okay, unless Millhouse or any 4-health minion, I guess. Whatever.
You also need 2 turns, so Shredder deals a lot of damage, and Warrior cannot afford to take the damage because then combo kills him. That's the problem. But this matchup is really close. Usually also with Harrison, you want to Harrison a Devs, but you don't want to Harrison a Warax.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think just putting out the pressure in the mid game, as we discussed, is so important that you might just go for it.
I'm not sure if going for Wrath is good. I think just playing the Ancient of Lore and trading into the Cruel Taskmaster is the best play. Ignite doesn't really have a good way to deal with Ancient of Lore as a warrior in general, like not looking at his hand.
I think Ignite's hand is actually pretty good.
He has Shield Slam. But if he plays Shield Slam, he cannot play anything else.
Right. But I think just in general, his hand is quite good here. If it really comes down to tanking up as much as possible at this point, he can kind of do it. Like you get that armor from the Shield Maiden, you get the control from the Boom. If you really want to play defensively, you can actually use Growmash to hit something.
He went for the play that I suggested, and Ignite doesn't get a really good draw. A really good draw would have been Acolyte of Pain to feed the curve. Ignite still has Dr. Boom next turn, which is like insane.
Yeah.
Unless Thijs draws the BGH in the next two draws. But now Thijs also has a really good curve with going Wrath and a 4-mana card. This game will be close. More closer than we expected.
What do you think about Shield Slam Axe hit into the 5/5 and then Belcher your 1 health Shredder after killing the 2/2?
That's really good. That's probably the best play, actually. Playing Arena helps.
Oh man.
You get the value trades.
Yep. You gotta protect your 1 health minions from those pesky Druid hero abilities that happen way too often in Arena.
But yeah, Druid has other ways, except for hero power, like Swipe and Wrath.
Wasn't Mage the best in Arena?
It's not that it was. It is.
It is.
Okay, Ignite goes for the good play. I'm not sure what Thijs can get. Oh, we see the second Force of Nature. That's really interesting.
The Fuerza de la Naturaleza.
There's some crazy stuff that can happen with Tharson. We haven't seen it in Thijs' deck yet, but there's the Tharson, and then you Force of Nature, Innervate Savage Roar. Have you been victimized by that on the ladder yet?
I did that in a tournament, but I would have won with one combo, but I played double Force of Nature Savage Roar, having Tauri-san on the board for 2 turns. Tauri-san can give you some things that your opponent cannot play around. That's why he's really good.
Yeah, but he is a little bit clunky in some situations, and the Druid deck is one that not too frequently struggles to get enough cards. Like once you get some card draw, you get into more card draw, so it kind of works, and it's a slowish deck to begin with. But I know probably about 1 in 4 games you struggle a little bit with cards, and I think in that spot Tharson's particularly bad. But I don't think that stopped most people from including him in the list.
What do you think of playing Lotep here? If Ignite attacks with... if Thijs plays Lotep and Ignite attacks with the Dr. Boom, then Thijs can use Force of Nature to clear the board.
I don't know, man. Dr. Boom is such a big presence this turn where you really don't have any good play.
Yeah, but Thijs definitely has to use one of those. He doesn't need 2 Force of Natures unless he really wants to go for 2 combos in a row. But most likely we will see one of those forces used as board removal. This is why he has to set up a kind of board where this can be applied very well. So RD was right in that regard.
That's the reason why Dr. Boom is really good. Like, we can see Thijs drew 14 cards of his deck. That's almost half. And you don't keep BGH. Like, if you play BGH, you play 1. And if you play it versus Warrior, you don't really keep it in the starting hand because it's dead until turn 7.
I actually think Ragnaros is the best card here. Because, yeah, if your Dr. Boom survived the BGH, then Ragnaros is also going to survive the BGH.
What do you think of going for Gromash and setting up a Lethal? Is that too risky? You have Lethal next turn. If you play... Oh, he goes for it. Wow. I like the style of play that Ignite goes for. He's really 4 that the damage. Oh my god, the 4 damage. Yeah?
Oh man, this is a lot of pressure that Thijs is facing down. How can he deal with this?
I think, does he have a Wrath left? No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have enough mana to clear with the Force of Nature Savage Roar combo, but even then it wouldn't probably not be enough to clear everything. Yeah.
The Warrior just got the free win.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing to play there.
Ignite just got really far ahead. This is what I was talking about. As long as Ignite can control the board very well, which he did, yeah, he just got ahead on the board with the Dr. Boom and then got the game from there.
Ignite saw the good plays, he went for them, he got rewarded.
Oh man.
I don't think there's any way out of this.
This might be one of the first few times where I've actually seen Thijs not win a game with the Druid on the first try. Yeah, that does do it. Ignite does take game 1 with the Warrior. Now I don't know the lineup yet, but we will learn. We will learn pretty soon how this affects the set of decks. Warrior seems to be just pretty good, but decks that are just pretty good in general seem to have a hard time winning so far. Like I think Rogue was the terrible one yesterday, where just Oil Rogue is just considered pretty good against most, and it just couldn't win games for anyone really.
Well, I've seen some players pilot the Oil Rogue fairly poorly. I'm not going to name anyone, but
okay.
Yeah, when I was spectating some players play Rogue, it wasn't really the best performance that could have been pulled out of the deck. Mm-hmm. And once again, that shows that Rogue is just one of the hardest classes to play in general.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't think Rogue is that good anymore. It just lost flavor for me. It's like you have so many good matchups, but you can just lose to your own draws if they're really poor.
But that's always been the theme of Rogue. Dating back to Miracle Rogue, that always it was always the most powerful deck, but it always lost to itself by drawing poorly.
Well, Miracle was pretty consistent. Oil Rogue is not that consistent.
What's the difference?
Depends how you build it.
Yeah,
You can cycle more. The Oil Rogue doesn't have shivs.
Well, whatever
I
the
guess.
case is, Warrior has performed pretty well, but I also think Warrior is one of the main deterrents to Hunter, and Face Hunter does seem to win a lot of the games against just about everything else. With Warrior out, it might actually hurt him because I do know that Thijs plays a pretty aggressive lineup.
So Ignite chooses to go for his Paladin.
It's a really good matchup for the Paladin.
Is it?
It's insane.
Why?
Because of the early pressure. The Druid cannot handle it. If they wall growth, they lose the board. If they lose the board, they lose the game. He can just Coin Knife Juggler into Minibot and then he wins.
Yeah, that's true. As if Paladin gets far ahead on the board and Druid does not have the swipes to deal with the aggression, then Druid is in a really tough spot.
I don't think swipe helps. Like with this hand,
Battle, sure.
with this hand I would keep all the monsters. You low Valdor. Knife Juggler played with coin is really good because if they rough it, you still can play Minibot. If they go Wild Growth, you deal 3 damage plus the 1 knife for free. The only way you lose is if they have Innervate Keeper, and that's like really unlikely, and you shouldn't play around that. So Coin Knife Juggler is definitely the play.
I think he's going with the Shielded Minibot.
I don't really see a good reason for going Shielded Minibot.
The Innervate Keeper of the Grove, for example.
I thought if he has that, it's already over because he will kill the Knife Juggler anyways next turn.
Yeah, but if he look at the he does Thijs.
It's more likely to have the Keeper now than Innervate Keeper last turn. It's something mathematically correct.
Yeah, right now, yeah, because if he played the Wild Growth, that's true.
If he wanted to play like this, he had to go for Hero Power and not Juggler and keep the Juggler for turn 5 to go for turn 5 Juggler and Master for battle.
Yeah, that's true. I agree on that one. But maybe he just plays like he doesn't have the Keeper at all. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it really mattered too much there. It does seem like the Juggler would have been a little bit more aggressive, and that would have turned out pretty well. But it doesn't really matter. There basically has to be like a really solid 5-drop draw from Thijs to really keep up with just Muster and a lot of little dudes.
Ignite was just really hoping that Thijs wouldn't have anything to deal with this Juggler. Because if Thijs were just going for example, Piloted Shredder on turn 4 instead of like Wrathing or Keepering, then the game would have just been in Ignite's favor so much with the Muster for Battle as a follow-up to the Juggler.
I think Thijs' hand is actually horrible, and I think it's still heavily in Ignite's favor. Like, you have double Savage Roar in a big game right now.
Yeah, those are
and
some
an
death
off-curve Shredder against Muster.
That's not the greatest hands.
I actually don't think it could be that much worse than that.
Thijs is also scared of a potential Quartermaster. That's the pressure of the Master for battle, even if we know it's a blank.
Yeah, Thijs has one more turn though to play around the Quartermaster.
Yeah, the coin has been used.
And let's see how he chooses to go into this turn. So I would actually think he would go for the Shredder here because he doesn't have to deal with those 1/1s just yet.
Shredder is so bad against the True Silver.
I think it's bad
there's
enough
nothing
against the
can-
Muster.
Oh, Coghammer, interesting. What did Ignite ban?
We don't know the classes or bans right now. Oh, they're on little photos there, huh?
He banned Warlock. Okay.
Okay.
Déjame pensar.
In Ignites, I think Mage was banned.
We can see that Thijs doesn't have Hunter in his lineup. I think that if he would have Hunter, he would still let Hunter free because Coghammer usually counters Hunter. If you play Coghammer, you want to beat Hunter with your Paladin. That means you also play a heal bot. And that means you'll play Leon Hands for sure. I saw a lot of people cutting Leon Hands for Ragnaros for extra burst. Not sure if that's correct though.
It all depends on what kind of decks you want to face.
What do you think about this, though? I think the dude into the Shredder and then the Coghammer's... No, not you Shredder. You Shredder. Forget it.
Yeah, Shredder seems like the most obvious pick here because it's on curve and just generates so much pressure by itself.
He's afraid of playing Shredder because Shredder is really bad against Swipe. Swipe Hero Power just clears the board. And you trade a Shredder into what he gets.
We'll see if Thijs is able to top like that swipe that he desperately needs. Nope.
Nope.
One turn too late for the Belcher.
Yeah, it would have been significantly better last turn, just holding off all the aggression.
He has a double chance to get the Doomsayer.
So now we will have to see as well if Thijs is
But
actually afraid
would
of
it survive if it's on Thijs' side is the question.
Maybe with the Belcher? I think so. It's like 12 points, no, 14 points of durability. I think he survives unless Ignite gets the equality. This would be awesome.
Right now it's interesting to see if Thijs is actually afraid of the Quartermaster that might be in Ignite's hand on turn 5. But it seems like he doesn't ignore that. The Belcher poses a good defense against even a Quartermaster though, with a 3 attack being able to deal with buffed dudes.
Déjame
As I said, heal bot. Yeah, this is a deck that is meant to beat Hunter.
But like a question for that, is Archives like Warhammer and Healbot even enough to deal with all the damage that Face Hunter can put out?
Not really, like that's why Face Hunter is insane. It can just me versus anything.
So in that regard, is it even worth it to put cards like that into the Paladin?
I feel like the Warrior was a really good counter to Hunter though. Like he's playing basically regular Control Warrior with Shredders. Like isn't that just pretty damn good against Hunter?
I know, we'll see how this plays out. No Doomsayer. Do you trade with...
He really wanted to buff that Piloted Shredder with a Coghammer there.
Trading with the non-Divine Shielded just tells Thijs that he doesn't have Quartermaster. But at the same time, it's really good to keep the Divine Shield. I like the way Ignite is playing this turn. Sylvanas turn 6 is really insane versus Druids. You just play her because he didn't have the Keeper earlier, and if he uses Keeper to silence Sylvanas, you already have the tempo on the board, so you'll probably win the game anyways. Too bad he's not playing Mech
Spanish
Druid.
sounds.
Portales abiertos.
Oh my god.
Damn it, Takov.
How do you even know a word of Spanish?
I had it in school.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know that I actually speak 5 languages?
Like, is Spanish among them?
Yeah, but Spanish is not my best one, obviously.
Oh, okay.
It's really close between going Keeper Hero Power and Keeper Shade of Naxxramas. Really close. You go Keeper for sure here.
Yeah.
But the other one, it's really, really, really close.
Yeah. It is
I think
always
I
nice
like
to
Keeper Hero Power.
It's always nice to have that Keeper in case something like a Sylvanas or Tyrion drops down for the Paladin, but right now with Thijs' hand, he has a lot of dead cards with those Savage Ross in the Big Game Hunter. He needs to make do with what he has right now, so Keeper has to be used for damage.
Debo salvaguardar la tierra.
I think that Thijs can make a read based on the fact that Ignite created the non-Divine Shielded dude, that Ignite doesn't have the Quartermaster in the hand. Actually, he would have played on turn 5 too, so going for Shade is a definitely the good play. Unless, of course, Ignite top decks Quartermaster. Harrison Jones.
Déjame pensar.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty clear-cut Sylvanas turn still.
Sylvanas? What if Thijs ignores Sylvanas and goes for full face? Actually, how much damage is it with double Savage Roar?
So each is 6.
Which is 6, okay.
Each
Well,
8 technically.
one of those creatures is gonna die.
It's 20... 22?
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's 22 damage. With the Hero Power 23. Top deck swipe... Ah, never mind, he traded.
It can't be an odd number because the Shade's gonna have 3 attack. So it has to be an even number.
Oh, I didn't calculate that. Never mind me. Sorry. Does he have lethal if he goes Savage Roar now and top decks the Force of Nature for the second combo? But he will go for that if it's his last resort. Let's see how much is that. No, it's not enough. It's 1 damage of lethal. Puts him at 15 now.
Do you think we will just see both those minions straight into the Sylvanas just to alleviate some pressure off the board?
Wait
here?
a second. What if he goes for one Savage Roar now and keeps the Shade? And the Shade will get buffed next turn, so he'll get the 1 damage extra. But he doesn't know that Ignite has the heal bot. But that's the winning play, I think.
But if you keep the... I think Does this deck run Equality, do you think? Because if it runs Equality, you steal the Shade and lose the game 100%. You never give an Equality turn.
The play that you suggest, RDU, is just way too risky, I think. But can Thijs actually still make a comeback if he just uses both his minions to kill off the pressure on the board?
Probably not. It's the risky play, but it's the winning play. He's just pushing normally.
Alright, establishing a big enough board, hoping that those minions will actually survive.
Yeah, it would have been enough damage if he went for Savage Roar and Hero Power and attack with Creeper, attack with Keeper and Face, and then Shade grows.
You can actually clear here. Sylvanas into Big Game, and then Wild Pyro into Muster after attacking the Keeper of the Grove.
The good old Wild Pyro Master combo.
It is the only way to clear.
Grip with the plays.
You only take 2 damage.
That's a really heads-up play, Grip. What do you think of trading, though? I think Ignite wants to play this safe.
I think my play was the safest.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
22 life against a 9-mana Druid with Healbot in hand.
And losing your whole board.
No, you get the keep the Shade. 3/2.
Value.
Wow.
The Druid obviously has nothing. He just played Big Game.
Well, anyway, with the hand that we see from Thijs, Ignite can pretty much do whatever he wants. He's gonna be in a big advantage.
Well,
From this
don't
point
be so
onward.
sure on that. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he just
interesting.
tries to push for lethal.
What happens if you innervate the Wild Growth? Do you draw?
No,
I never tried that.
I tried that. It doesn't work, unfortunately.
That's so unlucky. But okay, what if he gets some damage now and gets somehow a lethal with innervate combo next turn? Is that possible? And not die? Ignite has exact lethal, so if Thijs clears the 1/1... Actually, if Thijs Hero powers, Ignite doesn't have enough damage. So if Thijs Hero powers and puts enough damage on the board to get lethal next turn with innervate combo top deck Force of Nature, that might be a way to win the game, just because Ignite went for face instead of trading. Let's see if there's any way.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where Thijs will most likely not be able to win by trading and then hoping to get another advantage by drawing into big minions. His health is just too low for that. The constant
Yeah, the
pressure
Savage
from
Roar
the
has to
ones.
be played.
I don't think you even trade. You
Yeah.
can trade to play around Quartermaster. But if you trade, you don't have enough damage to win with innervate combo, so you just go full face and hope he doesn't have anything and hope you draw combo. Yeah, that's the winning play. And he goes for it. I'm proud of Thijs. Oh.
Lethal.
Yeah, Thijs made the play to win, but draws just did not support it,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
very, very poor
The
draws.
BM from Ignite. The BM.
Well, Ignite is up 2.
0, Ignite showing why he deserves to be here.
Well, there is one problem.
Is that last class Priest?
Yes.
Okay.
There is still a chance that Ignite's Priest can go wrong. Priest is one of the classes that can either win everything or just lose every single time.
Yeah. That's somewhat true, but I mean...
But how likely is that if Priest loses 3 in a row? Isn't Priest a class that can just easily win 1, at least?
Yeah, I think so.
Based on the draws that Priest can get?
It depends.
I think,
pretty sure that
Priest is pretty decent against Druid, too.
Yeah, I honestly think that depending on the Priest build, obviously, Priest is one of those classes which just relies on opening hands a lot as well. And if you get a good opening hand with Priest, you can just snowball a game no matter which class you play against.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
So
think
it's quite an uphill climb for Thijs, for sure.
What if it's a really defensive Priest that is meant to beat Hunters and Thijs doesn't have Hunter? I don't see Ignite that good then. Let's see. Oh, okay, this is a really good Priest version. I think this version can get something.
Balance.
Yeah, well chosen. Definitely one of my favorite cards for sure from
Yeah.
GVG.
I don't think the stream can see the other hand.
No.
Priest hand.
I also can't see what decks Thijs has. Maybe you guys can help me on that.
Thijs has Mage. We
Yeah.
don't know what Mage. Druid and Paladin.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad. Like, most mage decks and all paladin decks do pretty well against priest.
Yes, depends on the draws of Okenai. And priest is like really hard to play, like really hard. But Ignite played really well until now, so we'll see probably a good play from the priest. It's really hard on both sides to see what you mulligan. I think I would throw both hands away. Maybe keep the Okenai on Ignite's
I
side.
think keeping the, what is that, the Cholera? Cholera is probably pretty good.
No.
Cholera.
What do you kill with it? Nurture Cleric? I don't care about that.
Oh my god.
Oh, double
I think you want
wild
Cholera back.
I don't think you want Cholera back.
who wants cholera? Come on. Yeah, the double wild growth certainly a really good start because he has the scenarios already. It's gonna see play very early.
Azir Drake is like the perfect draw. You double Wild Growth, and then you play Azir Drake on turn 6. You can draw you into your 7 drops more often. And then you just need an 8 mana play, and then bam, scenarios.
Look at that. Perfect Cholera. You guys doubted me.
Okay, Creep, you got us. Yeah? Creep wins. Oh my god. The arena
It's
value.
kind of an issue though. Like the Injured Blade might get really out of control very quickly.
Next turn.
He Velens it.
Yeah, we will see a balance chosen for sure, and this is where. Oh, actually,
This might change the... Actually...
does he want the cards, or does he just want the higher health value?
I think I like the draw.
¿Hay algún herido?
The draw is pretty good. You want to draw as much as possible.
But even still, like it's getting out of range.
Yeah. Creep would have won this.
Oh,
Imagine
man.
having Ignite's hand without the board. It would be really bad.
Powered Shield, Velens, Thought Steal, Dr. Boom. Oh my god. We'd have to hope for some good boom bots with that one.
Running Dr. Boom in Priest is really nice.
I think running Dr. Boom in everything is pretty nice.
Yeah,
I don't think Priest is the best class to handle Dr. Boom, but it might work in a tournament setting.
Firebird was telling me yesterday that he's just running Dr. Boom in every deck. We had like discussion which card is more overpowered, is it Dr. Boom or Emperor Torsen? And he said like, yeah, easily Dr. Boom. I play it in every deck and Emperor not.
Yeah.
So, and then I asked him, does he even play Dr. Boom in Face Hunter? And he's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
A really insane turn for Ignite. He can trade
It's a
and then...
huge board and 8 face damage.
Yeah.
Just about every time when you need it.
Look at this board state. Ignite just has the win in
Oh
his
wow,
face.
yeah. Light of the Naru is so big.
Light of the Naru, power or shield and heal.
Yeah.
That's insane. I think you start with the power shield. Actually, yes, yeah. And then you Light of Naru and then you heal to get the buff on the...
Yeah, it pretty much all came down to the Blade Master not being able to...
No
Thijs to
cholera.
handle. Yeah, no cholera. It was obviously a risky gambit as well from Ignite because Thijs could have easily have a way to deal with a damaged Blade Master. So
I don't think you usually keep Wrath versus Priest.
En el nombre de la luz.
Can we maybe just skip the Spanish sounds for a few games?
why?
Okay.
I like Spanish. I'm pretty sure you do too, judging from your sombrero.
No man, I just like hats.
Ah, all right.
Okay.
Me pregunto.
So you do have that 7 drop, but like, does it really matter?
The 7 drop dies to the Light of Naru heal face.
You wouldn't heal face, you'd heal the Blade Master.
Or heal Blade Master. Doesn't matter what you heal.
Wow, what a desperation play by Thijs already.
I don't
Hey.
think there's like any way for Thijs to make a comeback in this game.
Yeah, not with that hand. Like 2 Thought Steals, Doc.
Oh, Death Lord.
Wow.
So this deck can also beat Hunter. But Dr. Boom allows you to win other matchups too. That's brilliant. So Ignite really try-harded for this tournament.
Yeah, it is definitely a very nice priest build, geared against any sort of situation, and also still having that tech with Blade Master being potentially overpowered, giving you overpowered starts against those mid-range decks especially.
Wow, that's a really good value. Can you pronounce that?
What?
The villain's chosen in Spanish.
Oh, it's El Elegido de Velen.
Whoa.
Scenarios Knife Juggler combo.
What is scenarios in Spanish? Are you?
Me pregunto.
I'm pretty sure you can do that.
It's Scenarios.
Nice.
Whoa. You've been practicing.
I think they keep the names in every language.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oops.
Well, that crazy opener may not have meant much because we can't see what's going on. But I think that's on our end. I think the players are still in their game. I don't think they're having any issue. Probably when we tab back up, we're going to see a very sad Thijs.
The spectator mode usually...
Yeah, we just have to move the mouse sometimes.
We moved the mouse 1 minute ago to...
I guess, but we also have to click some stuff.
Okay, we have to click some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're up here again in just a second. Here we are. So it looks like the North Star received the heal and Thijs played the Ancient of Lore. Now I think Thijs can still win this game. It just has to be like a ridiculous Starson super duper combo.
How is that gonna work? Enlighten me, Crip.
Well, how else are you gonna win?
I mean, you don't, I think.
Okay.
Ignite has to like disconnect in order for Thijs to win, I would say.
Okay. Well, what if the shade makes it a few turns? Because right now there is. Oh yeah, there is. There's this. Oh, you wouldn't circle heal Akanai the shade.
I think you can play low tab.
It wouldn't. Yeah. It just wouldn't matter.
Playing low tab is pretty cool.
There's so many like speed bumps in the priest's hand that there's like no way Thijs can like follow through with a full strategy. With Deathlord stopping damage, with the Holy Fire stopping a 2-turn lethal, with Lothep stopping just everything.
I actually think that the only way for Thijs to come back into this game is this Deathlord.
What can he get from it?
I don't know, maybe something like a Ragnaros? Who knows? I don't know what Thijs is playing in his deck. Do you know?
Nope.
Maybe.
I know that Thijs runs a very straightforward face druid deck, like a double combo druid deck.
Ignite is gonna overdraw.
But does he really care? I don't think so.
Probably not. Probably not.
So finally, Thijs at 9 mana, being able to play the Scenarios.
You just
oh man, it's so early.
Scenarios is really bad against Holy Nova.
Yeah, but Holy Nova is fine because you can overdraw. Oh man.
You might have to play the Scenarios here.
I mean, imagine you just get Doctor Boomed here. Oh my god, that's so disgusting.
I'm pretty sure most players at this point would have conceded already. However, Thijs obviously down on his last life. He needs to find a way.
I don't think you concede in tournaments usually.
Well, of course you don't. Especially not if this is the last game you're playing.
You shouldn't even concede on ladder. Anything can happen.
Sometimes in Conquest, it is actually okay to concede early, just to not show what's in your deck.
Yeah.
If you know the game is lost early on.
That's some really next level strategies.
Well, it's
swipe face here.
True. Because you have to keep the deck that you lost with.
He's going for the value. He wants to clear the board next turn. Oh. If you have played the scenario, seeing that Holy Nova would have made him happy.
Yeah. Well, what's gonna make him really unhappy is Dr. Boom.
Probably yes.
That big game is not here. Never when you need him, always when you don't.
We always see Druid getting 3-0'd.
Kind of surprising to see, considering that
it was doing really well yesterday. Actually, I think Druid is one of the most dominant decks yesterday.
Yeah, if you expect someone to win with Druid, it's certainly Thijs. Thijs definitely his favorite class is Druid for sure.
Do you have favorite classes as a pro player? I think Thijs can play anything.
I'm fairly confident.
I think it is Druid. Like he almost always leads a Druid. Almost always like.
I'm sure
carries.
that Thijs can play every class, but every player has his comfort classes. And Thijs' comfort class is certainly the Druid.
Oh, that's not what you want to see.
That thing is about to die to a bomb.
Actually, wait. What if he plays double Shade and he draws the Savage Roar, has Innervate combo? How much damage is that? Like 15 plus 10, 25, not enough.
Yeah, if he doesn't die here, but we see that Ignite does have enough damage.
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna do it. 17-6, yep.
Yeah,
that's one over lethal with just Holy Fire.
So Ignite, free out the Druid from Thijs.
There is very strong performance by Ignite here.
Yes.
Congratulations to him.
Really well played.
3-0 over Thijs.
We've actually seen very few sweeps this tournament so far.
It's really hard to sweep in Conquest.
I actually don't think we've casted a sweep until this one.
There was the Reynad one, right?
Was it?
Where Reynad got eliminated
Oh,
with his rogue.
okay. That was a little forgettable, I guess. All right, well, congratulations to Ignite. Yeah, it's played very well. Very good, very balanced decks. Certainly, I feel Thijs got